Accordingly, today, Athletic Director Fulmer and I agree that we have no choice but to move forward with terminating Coach Pruitt. He was provided his termination letter this afternoon.
When I do my interviews with these coaches, they'll be like, "Hey man, what's like the hardest thing you've been through in life as a grown adult?" And I tell them like, leaving Tennessee was like definitely the hardest part, because you grow, like you were saying, like you grow your brotherhood, you grow like your bonds, and you grow like relationship with teachers, and like you meet friends that become your best friends, and like you leave all of that behind and go to a new school, like not just any school. You go to Alabama, like you go to the rivalry school. But like my phone was just blowing up so much. Like, we knew you were a traitor, like all along, like we knew who you are. You don't belong here. You don't belong to wear orange.
While he was there, they got the best of Hank, man. They got the best of him. They got all of him. You know, he gave them their heart.
We ain't in the same league, not even the same game. Going all in, I'm just trying to make.
3rd and 16, Hill steps up, throws underneath, it's intercepted. Off the care of To'oTo'o to the end zone, pick 6.
If I was you, I would probably feel the same way. Winning in my blood, something that I can't change. If I was you, I would probably feel the same way. We ain't in the same league, not even the same game. Going all in, I'm just trying to maintain. Y'all don't want me to win, I can see it on your face. I can see it on your face. We ain't in the same league, not even the same game. Going all in, I'm just trying to maintain. Y'all don't want me to win, I can see it on your face.
After my freshman year, like it was a big confidence booster, because like freshman All-American, like freshman All-SEC, like I was getting all of that. But, like going into my sophomore year, it was just like damn, it's real. Like I can do this. Like my dreams are attainable. Like I can be one of the top backers in the country and like be able to go in the draft.
To start all those games as a true freshman in the SEC is incredible. And I think it, one, points to his hard work, because he wasn't an early enrollee either. So one, it points to his hard work. It points to his football intelligence. He picks things up quick. He can direct others. He kind of quarterbacks the defense. You see that at Alabama, and definitely his second year at Tennessee. His understanding of concepts and being able to manipulate the defense through audibles and checks is really what sets him apart. You know, you look at how complicated the defense is at Alabama. You know, with a guy like that, you feel comfortable with all the different checks of whether it's tray formation, 3-by-1, 2-by-2, you know, 2 back, doesn't matter. He can get you in the right situation and the right play.
The biggest thing to take from all of it that's helped him become who he has become today was learning and understanding the schematics. That's what made his transition so smooth when he came to Alabama.
It was just so much stuff going on. Like at Tennessee, it just wasn't healthy, like for me. Like, I don't think it was that, like, my coach was leaving, but like, it was just so much turmoil going on in there, like so much uncertainty. And I didn't know who like the new defensive player, like the new defensive coach was coming in. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know who the linebacker coach was.
There was so many talks of movement happening with coaching staff and his staff. And I just felt that it was, at that time, it was unstable. The year before it was Coach Scher. Coach Scher moved on to the Giants. This year was Coach Brian Niedermeyer, which was 2020 season. And I was like, that's 2 coaches in 2 years. So that's not what we signed up for.
I don't know who else is gonna be here. I don't know what the coach is gonna be. Then I was just like, yeah, I think the portal's the best thing for me. Kids are so young. Like, we're young when we're being recruited. We're super like naive to everything. We jump for anything. You're only 17, 18 years old when you come out of college. I mean, out of high school. So sometimes you make mistakes, sometimes you mess up. It's not the decision that you thought it was gonna be, but like ultimately, like, that's life. It gives them a different opportunity to be able to explore like different avenues, and that's what it gave me. Like, it gave me a chance to be able to jump back on my 2 feet and right my wrongs. And not saying Tennessee was a wrong choice. Loved Tennessee, and I loved everything that the people did when I was there, and like my relations that I built, but like being able to go back out again and like, okay, let's see what else I can do. Like, I did this here, let me see what else I can do. Like sometimes things don't work for you, like, and it doesn't work out how you planned it. So I think it gives kids that opportunity to be able to find that plan that they were looking for. Coach Saban was the first person to call me. He was just like, hey, like just saying like, you know, like, this is your chance to right your wrongs. Like, it's either you come or you don't. Like, and he wasn't doing no recruiting pitch, no high school, like this is your chance. Like, do you want to come be a part of this or you don't? And, you know, then I was just like, yeah, I think I'm coming, coach. Like, I'm on the way.
Once he said and made a decision, like after all of that it's like, okay, I'm gonna just go to Bama. Like, I mean, that's what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, that ain't a bad choice. Like, you can't go wrong with that.
So I came in, like, had to move all my stuff in, and I had a meeting with him media that day. But like, our first conversation was just like, I told you so. Now, like, this is the program. Like, what did you run at Tennessee? Like, how did Coach Pruitt run it at Tennessee? And this is how we do it. This is what we call it. And I expect you to do X, Y, and Z. And I expect you to like work your way up the depth chart.
I mean, that's why he was able to start like pretty fast. Like, he got a hang of it real quick. Like, and we play similar, like with our play styles. Like, we even talk about it. We'll have the exact, like, we'll be side by side. Like Mike and Will, exact same steps. And we don't know how it's happening, but like, we're thinking the same, we react the same. So that shit was cake. It was easy for him.
Alabama's like De La Salle. Like, we're like this. Like, we're like brothers. Like, anybody come in is like, hey, hold on, like, who is this dude? Really, you gotta start like on something that you know you've done before and like you think you have a reputation. Like, no, these people don't know your reputation. Like, they don't know how you work. They don't know how your lingo is or how you talk. So that was kind of the hardest part, is like damn, I did this before. Like, y'all don't know who I am. Like, this is me, who I am. But like, they don't know who I am. Like, they don't care. And like, just starting over that process again and like building that again. But I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't trade it for nothing. And I didn't feel no type of way. Like, I had to earn my way in the circle. Like, I had to earn my way, like, of being B-Sci Fi. I had to be being an Alabama player. Like, I had to earn my way, like, to wear the 10 on my helmet, to wear that crimson helmet.
I mean, he's minding his own business, just coming in there to work. Same focus on the same thing we're all focused on. So, I mean, there's no need to treat him differently.
At first, he was like a fish out of water, right? A little shy and trying to get to know people. Then eventually, probably about the second week, things started to become more relaxed. Plus, Henry became friends with Christian Harris.
Everywhere Christian went, I went. Everywhere I went, Christian went. But like, we were together everywhere we went. We rode together to class. Like, he was a guy that like, when I get married, like, he's gonna be in my line. And I know if he gets married, like, I'm gonna be in his line. So, you know, those kind of relationships, like, that I built with him, like, it's something that, you know, it's hard to find. It's definitely hard to find, like, from a friend. Being able to know he was gonna be here and knowing that, like, I have a chance to play right next to him, like, and I can go out and play with somebody that, like, I've known since my senior year of high school. Like, I was super excited about it. Like, that was like, I was like, yeah, we're gonna be one of the best duos in college.
What a welcome for the #1 team in the country. As you hear the boos in the background at Steve Spurrier Field in Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. First trip.
Florida, man, I was going through it. I was going through it bad. I was about to, like, I felt like I was gonna die for real. It was like a rash times 1,000. Like, it was all over my back. I had like a fever. Like, I was sweating while I was sleeping. Like, any movement that I would make, it'll hurt. Like, it'll sting, like, my whole body. I promise, like, every drip of sweat that would, like, roll down my leg, like, it'll sting like crazy, like, burn, like, it'll burn. The first person I called was my parents, and I was like, man, like, can Dad come, and like, can I get a blessing?
Being a part of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I've been blessed with the opportunity to carry the priesthood, the Melchizedek priesthood. And with that responsibility comes great gifts. And one of the biggest gifts is being able to perform sacred ordinances.
Being able to like help somebody through something, like that's what we believe in. Like being able to help you is like a prayer, but like times 1,000. And like I've seen all my blessing work in so many different ways and help me mentally, physically, or like if I'm going through something, like a blessing is something I always go to.
We were trying to find a quiet place because, you know, fans and everyone are all at the lobby. And we go to the back in the kitchen and there's a restaurant back there. So we kind of hide and go behind there and just find a quiet spot, but it's still noisy in the lobby. Everyone's drinking, you know, having a good time.
And as soon as I put the drop of oil on the top of his head and I put my hands on the top of his head and I started my prayer, it just went quiet.
It's dark in the room. All of a sudden, where he's blessing Henry, there was light. It was something that I remember and I will always remember and hold close.
We would go out and play Florida, and like I was just out there playing, like nothing was wrong with me. And it was just like one of those stories that I have, and I don't think if I would never got that blessing, I don't think I would have played that game.
They're running tempo and QB runs and all of this, like making us move all around the field. He still dogged it out, which is why I say like he a dog, he's a warrior. I don't know how he did it.
I got the fight of a dog, talk that walk and walk that talk. I had to bounce back, better count that, count all of the time that I went and put in the grind. Hustle hard by design.
Takes the ball in his hands, gets it out to Brian Robinson, a move and a touchdown. Alabama survives the Gators. And then the pick six to seal it. And one more play for the Georgia defense. Georgia on the mountaintop.
Either you're a winner or you're a loser. Like, that's the two options you have. Like, that's how I always look at things. You either win or you lose. So like, I'm not saying that season was a fail, but like, that season was not what I wanted, what we wanted. Like, that was not it.
Cause I told him, I'm like, bro, I'm gonna get you a natty. Like, make sure you get there. I'm gonna make sure we win this shit. You're gonna get one. Like, it's gonna be your first one, you're gonna win one. Like, so I mean, obviously, you know, not winning and make it a little harder. Yeah, I mean, it's tough losing. Like, you ain't never gonna. We for sure. I know I'm not ever gonna be cool with losing.
Like, of course, you know the fans expect you to win. Like, they expect you to win. Like, you play for Alabama, you're supposed to win. Like, but it doesn't come easy like that. Like, so that's why we try to do a great job as a team. And like our coaching staff does a great job of like making sure like you're not paying attention to that. You just try to work your tail off every single day. That's all about you can do. And if I'm being brutally honest, like those guys on the field, those 11 guys on the field and the guys on the sideline, the coaches, like you create your own expectations and you don't let nobody outside in like tell you how your season's supposed to go and what success looks like, because they don't do what we do.
And in an era, Dusty, where players left and right are deciding to skip bowl games, the best players, not only on the field today, but in the country, are playing.
At this time, there was people talking to us and giving us advice like Henry shouldn't play. But then that totally went against the character who Henry is. Henry was gonna play in that Sugar Bowl, whether he was healthy, his foot was broke again, or whatever.
Man, you come to Alabama like you'll be wrong to not play in any game that's presented in front of you. Like, we're known as Alabama, like the smash mouth, like hard hitting, dedicated, just grit people. Like, that's what Alabama is. That's what people know Alabama for. Like, and kind of just leaving the mark of like, because we were hot. We were pissed that we weren't in the playoffs. Pissed. So like making a statement to people about the things that they had to say and creating our own narrative and being the Alabama team and going out and like ultimately like beating Kansas State the way we're supposed to, like was one of the biggest reasons why I came back. You know, that last game, like, oh, I ain't never gonna miss a game. Like, you put a game on the schedule, like, I'm gonna be there.
As for me, I couldn't believe that was the end of our college football career and just watching him play, you know, and if he was blessed enough to move on to the next level and play in the NFL, then, you know, then that's where we'll be. But as for that moment, I just couldn't help but be very thankful and grateful for the opportunity that was given to him.
I don't think that game was emotional as much as it was, you know, his last game at Bryant Stadium, when they recognized all the seniors. We went down to the field with my family. You know, we were out there, standing there, taking it all in, you know, that it's done. It was, I think that moment was harder to take and realize that it was done. Because it was fun journey. Like, man, who wouldn't want to play for Alabama under those big lights? Who wouldn't want all that pressure? Like, if you think you're the best, go to Alabama. See if you can start there. What type of person are you? Can you handle it? Can you fight through it? Can you get back up when you fall down, kind of thing? And that was what Alabama was able to reinstill into my son that he might have forgot.
One of my biggest things when I'm playing ball, or like when guys look back and look at me as a ball player, like I just want them, and I think the legacy that I left, and I want them to look at me when I'm done playing, like a guy who's dedicated, a guy who's a team player, who cares about his team, who would do anything for his teammates, like go out and ball every single Saturday. But I think the impact that you make on people is my goal in life. Like the legacy I want to leave, the impact of a team player, of like a brother that can call on no matter what.
At Alton Credit Union, you can score big with our fixed rate credit card.
We ain't in the same